Hello, everyone. Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that hits close to home for many retirees: the subtle, often overlooked financial traps that can quietly erode your hard-earned savings. If you're a retiree in the US or Europe, you've likely spent decades building a nest egg to enjoy your golden years. Yet, I've seen countless times in my 20 years as a financial advisor how small, seemingly harmless decisions can lead to significant financial losses over time. These aren't dramatic mistakes like investing everything in a single stock or splurging on a yacht. Instead, they're sneaky, silent leaks, like tiny cracks in a dam, that can drain your wealth before you even notice. The good news: by recognizing these traps and making small, smart choices, you can protect your financial security and enjoy the retirement you deserve. So, let's explore these hidden dangers together, with real-life examples and practical advice drawn from my experience working with retirees across the US and Europe. Whether you're in New York, London, or Paris, this guide will help you safeguard your future and live with peace of mind. The free seminar trap. Let's start with a trap that's all too common: the allure of free offers. In cities like Chicago or Manchester, retirees often receive invitations to free seminars or dinners promising expert advice on securing your retirement. These events, held at upscale venues with gourmet meals, feel like a treat, but they're often designed to sell high-fee financial products. Take Susan, a 67-year-old retiree from Florida. She attended a free investment seminar at a local hotel, where a charismatic speaker convinced her to invest in an annuity with a 2.5% annual fee. At first, it seemed like a safe bet, but over time, those fees ate away at her returns, costing her thousands of dollars. In my experience, these events, whether in the US or Europe, are rarely about education. They're sales pitches in disguise, often pushing products like variable annuities or mutual funds with hidden costs. To avoid this trap, always ask, what's the catch? If it's free, the organizers are likely earning money elsewhere, usually through commissions. Before signing anything, consult an independent financial advisor who isn't tied to specific products. In Europe, check if the advisor is registered with regulators like the FCA in the UK or ESMA in the EU. This simple step can save you from costly commitments and keep your nest egg intact. Overbuying insurance. Next, let's talk about the trap of overbuying insurance, a mistake I've seen retirees make from Seattle to Stockholm. As we age, it's natural to worry about healthcare costs or leaving a legacy, but purchasing overlapping insurance policies can drain your budget without adding real value. For example, John, a 70-year-old retiree in California, had 3 separate health insurance plans on top of Medicare, costing him $500 a month. When he needed surgery, he discovered the policies duplicated coverage, and he wasn't getting extra benefits for the extra cost. Similarly, in Germany, I've met clients like Anna, who bought multiple life insurance policies, unaware that they overlapped with her existing pension benefits. My advice: review all your policies, health, life, even travel or auto insurance, and list out their benefits. In the US, ensure your Medicare or supplemental plans cover your needs without redundancy. In Europe, check if your national health system or private plans overlap. Cancel unnecessary policies, and consider working with a financial planner to streamline your coverage. This can save you hundreds of dollars monthly, freeing up funds for the things that truly matter. Helping adult children. Now, let's address a deeply emotional trap: using your retirement savings to help adult children. Whether it's paying for a home down payment in Texas or covering student debt in the Netherlands, many retirees feel compelled to support their kids. While this comes from love, it can jeopardize your financial security. Take Maria, a 68-year-old retiree from Spain. She used a chunk of her pension to help her son start a business in Madrid. When the business struggled, Maria was left with limited funds for her own medical expenses. I've seen similar stories in the US, where parents dip into 401(k)s or IRAs to cover their children's mortgages. To avoid this trap, set clear boundaries. Offer non-financial support, like advice, or consider low-interest loans instead of gifts. Use a budgeting tool to calculate how much you can afford to give without compromising your retirement plan. In my practice, I recommend the 50/30/20 rule. 50% of income for essentials, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings or debt repayment. This ensures your generosity doesn't come at the cost of your future. Overspending on home renovations. Another common pitfall is overspending on home renovations, driven by the desire to make your space perfect for retirement. Whether you're in a cozy London flat or a suburban home in Ohio, emotional decisions about renovations can lead to costly projects with little return. For instance, David, a retiree in Colorado, spent $60,000 upgrading his kitchen, hoping it would boost his home's value. When he sold the house, the upgrades only added $20,000 to the sale price. In Europe, I've seen similar cases, like Sophie in France, who renovated her countryside villa only to find the local market didn't value the changes. Before renovating, hire a professional appraiser to estimate how much value the project will add. Focus on essential upgrades, like energy-efficient windows or roof repairs, rather than luxury features. Set a strict budget and compare costs to the potential increase in home value or quality of life. This approach ensures your home improvements are both practical and financially sound. Chasing absolutely safe investments. One of the biggest myths in retirement planning is that safe investments, like savings accounts or government bonds, are always the best choice. In reality, this can be a trap that causes your wealth to erode due to inflation. In the U.S., with inflation averaging 2 to 3% annually, a savings account yielding 1% means you're losing purchasing power. In Europe, where some countries have faced negative interest rates, the effect is even starker. Consider Emma, a retiree in Boston, who kept her entire $500,000 nest egg in a savings account. Over 10 years, inflation reduced its real value by nearly $100,000. To combat this, diversify your portfolio. A balanced mix of low-cost index funds, bonds, and dividend-paying stocks can provide growth while managing risk. A rule of thumb I use is the 100 minus your age guideline. If you're 70, allocate 30% to stocks and 70% to safer assets like bonds. In Europe, consider ETFs listed on exchanges like Euronext for diversification. Always consult a fiduciary advisor to tailor your investments to your risk tolerance and goals. Auto-renewing subscriptions. Let's move to a trap that's small but insidious: auto-renewing subscriptions. From streaming services like Netflix to gym memberships or software like Adobe, these monthly charges can add up. In the U.S., the average retiree spends $200 to $300 annually on unused subscriptions. In Europe, where subscription services are equally popular, the numbers are similar. Take Robert, a retiree in Manchester, who was paying for 3 streaming platforms and a magazine subscription he rarely used, costing him £150 yearly. To avoid this, review your bank and credit card statements quarterly. Use apps like Mint in the US or Money Dashboard in the UK to track recurring charges. Cancel anything you don't use regularly, and consider sharing subscriptions with family to split costs. These small savings can add thousands to your retirement fund over time. Unexpected tax bills. Taxes can be a silent killer for retirees, especially when withdrawing from retirement accounts or selling assets. In the U.S., withdrawals from traditional IRAs or 401(k)s are taxed as ordinary income, often catching retirees off guard. In Europe, capital gains taxes or pension withdrawal rules vary by country, creating similar surprises. For example, Laura, a retiree in Texas, withdrew $50,000 from her IRA to cover medical expenses, only to face a $12,000 tax bill. In Germany, Hans sold a rental property and was hit with a hefty capital gains tax he hadn't planned for. To avoid this, work with a tax advisor to plan withdrawals strategically. In the U.S., consider Roth conversions to shift funds to tax-free accounts over time. In Europe, research country-specific rules, like the UK's 25% tax-free pension allowance. Planning ahead can save you thousands and prevent stressful tax surprises. Lifestyle inflation. Retirement often feels like the time to splurge, whether it's a dream trip to Italy or dining out in New York. But unchecked lifestyle inflation can deplete your savings faster than expected. Consider James, a retiree in California, who spent $20,000 on international travel in his first year of retirement, only to cut back on daily expenses later. In Europe, I've seen retirees like Clara in Sweden overspend on luxury cruises, leaving little for healthcare costs. To manage this, follow the 4% rule. Withdraw no more than 4% of your portfolio annually, adjusted for inflation. Use budgeting tools like inaction to track spending and allocate funds for fun without overspending. This balance lets you enjoy retirement without risking financial strain. Blindly trusting friends or advisors. Another dangerous trap is placing blind trust in friends or unverified advisors. Scams targeting retirees are rampant in both the US and Europe. For instance, Michael, a retiree in Florida, invested $100,000 in a real estate opportunity recommended by a friend, only to discover it was a Ponzi scheme. In the UK, Sarah lost savings to an unregulated advisor promising high returns. Always verify an advisor's credentials. Check FINRA in the US or the FCA in the UK, and avoid investments based solely on personal recommendations. Diversify your information sources, and if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. The trap of inaction. Finally, the most subtle trap is doing nothing at all. Fear of making mistakes leads some retirees to avoid reviewing investments or adjusting budgets. Over time, inflation and rising living costs erode wealth. For example, Thomas in London kept his savings in a low-yield account for a decade, losing significant value to inflation. To avoid this, schedule annual reviews of your financial plan. Adjust your portfolio to account for inflation and changing needs, and stay proactive about budgeting. Inaction is a choice, and it's one that can cost you dearly. The core message. The key takeaway is this: retirees don't lose wealth because of carelessness but because of small, unnoticed leaks. Retirement isn't about perfection, it's about protection. By making small, deliberate decisions daily, you can secure your financial freedom and enjoy your golden years with confidence. Thank you for watching until the end. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment below, sharing one thing you learned today and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your insights mean the world to us and inspire us to keep creating valuable content. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue delivering information to empower and inspire you. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.